Picture this: April 1978. A violent coup explodes in Afghanistan. It doesn't just topple a government, it lights a fuse that will burn for decades, leading to foreign invasion, civil war, a complete reshaping of the country. And right at the heart of that explosion was one man and his final, desperate stand. This is the story of how Afghanistan's first president fell, and how that one event changed absolutely everything. So let's get right to it. Our central question is simple, but the answer is incredibly complex. How exactly did Mohammad Daoud Khan, the founder of the Republic of Afghanistan, meet his end? Well, the story starts, and tragically ends, inside the walls of the presidential palace. All right, to really understand what happened, we have to start at the heart of Afghan power, the Ark, the presidential palace in Kabul. This wasn't just an office building. This is where President Dawood Khan lived, where he ruled, and ultimately where he would die. Now, Dawood Khan wasn't some ancient ruler from a long dynasty. No, he created this republic himself, and only 5 years earlier. Back in 1973, he led a totally bloodless coup, getting rid of his own cousin, the king, and declared Afghanistan a republic for the very first time. And the change he brought about was fundamental. I mean, he took the country from a monarchy to a one-party state with himself as president. He hit the gas on modernization and, really importantly, he initially cozied up to the Soviet Union for support, a decision that would turn out to be completely fatal. He was trying to build a new Afghanistan, but his republic had some deep, deep weaknesses right from the start. And, as powerful as Dawood Khan seemed on the surface, the cracks in his new republic started to show almost immediately. The biggest source of tension, the biggest crack in the foundation, was a group called the People's Democratic Party of Afghanistan, the PDPA. Now, these guys were a Marxist-Leninist party, and they had heavy backing from the Soviet Union. At first, they actually supported Dawood's coup, but he turned on them fast. He started purging communists from his government, trying to cut back on Soviet influence, and, well, that did not go over well at all. You can see right here how what started as a kind of partnership in '73 just completely soured. Over the next 5 years, Dawood systematically pushed out his old allies, grabbing more and more power for himself. But what he didn't realize was that by pushing the PDPA into a corner, he was creating a radicalized and very, very dangerous enemy. So you've got all this political tension just simmering, ready to boil over. All it needed was a spark. And that spark came on April 17, 1978. A well-known PDPA figure, Mir Akbar Khyber, was assassinated. The PDPA immediately pointed the finger at Dawood's government. Khyber's funeral turned into a massive anti-government protest. Dawood's reaction? He was swift and severe. He ordered the arrest of the entire PDPA leadership. And that right there was the point of no return. With their leaders getting locked up, the PDPA-aligned officers in the military knew it was now or never. They had to act immediately or they'd be eliminated next. And this brings us right to the coup itself. It's known as the Saur Revolution, and it all comes down to a final, violent showdown at the presidential palace. This was a full-on, coordinated military assault. Rebel tank units who were loyal to the PDPA rolled in and surrounded the Ark. The Afghan Air Force, which had also been infiltrated by communists, sent jets to bomb the palace. For hours and hours, Dawood Khan's presidential guard fought back like lions, but they were just totally outnumbered and outgunned. The battle for the palace raged for the entire day. Inside, Dawood Khan was given an ultimatum: surrender. His response, at least according to the soldiers who led the final assault, was just pure defiance. He reportedly armed himself, armed his family, and was determined to fight to the bitter end rather than hand over the republic he built. And so, late that evening on April 28th, rebel troops finally stormed the palace, which by then was riddled with bullets. They found Dawood Khan and 18 members of his family, including women and children, all in a single room. They'd all been killed in the final firefight. The founder of the republic was dead. The death of one man, in one room, in one palace, it changed everything. The fall of Dawood Khan set Afghanistan on a totally new and absolutely catastrophic path. And the change wasn't subtle, not at all. I mean, overnight, Afghanistan just flipped. It went from Dawood's nationalist republic, which was trying to balance the world powers, to a hard-lined communist state that was firmly under the thumb of the Soviet Union. The PDPA immediately started pushing these radical reforms that just violently clashed with Afghanistan's traditional religious culture. This radical change led directly to a massive rebellion. Resistance fighters, who you probably know as the Mujahideen, rose up all across the country. The PDPA government responded with unbelievable brutality, which only fueled the fire more. By 1979, the communist government was about to collapse, which is what forced its Soviet masters to invade, kicking off a decade-long war that would just devastate the nation and turn it into a bloody Cold War battleground. And that leaves us with this one haunting question, doesn't it? Was the violent death of Mohammad Daoud Khan that single moment that sealed Afghanistan's fate? Did this one bloody day lock in a cycle of war, invasion, and extremism that would go on to define the country for the next 40 years?